There you go. And we're talking baseball now, guys.
It was not a good day.
Yesterday was
doubleheader.
Pathetic. Go ahead, you guys, because I got a lot to say. So before I rant and rave, why don't you guys hit your thoughts on the Guardians and the Tigers?
Obviously, it was a doubleheader. You know, the first one, I think it was 1-0 in the first. No, it was 4.
No, the second game was 1-0.
3-4.
4-3, yeah.
We lost. We got out hit terribly. I mean, they had 14 hits on us, so obviously the pitching wasn't up to par. A lot of runs got scored. It just, you know, the Guardians started this season off really hot on the bat side, and then obviously you know how a baseball season goes. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And right now they kind of, you know, we getting towards the bottom of it. But they tried to come back and make some good hits and make some plays. But like I said, at the end of the day, our pitching is not where it is right now. Our bullpen is not as strong as I thought it was. It might be tired down from all the games that they've been rotating those guys. And, yeah, Detroit just embarrassed us. They weren't good.
First of all, let's just go ahead and say it. This is my problem with Guardians people in general. You can't have it both ways. And sometimes when I hear a bunch of people who know a lot more than I do or cover it or figure it out and really watch this thing in depth, my issue is this. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that you don't have the resources to go out and get players, but yet and still you have resources in your minor leagues to go out and either trade those players to get better players, right? But then you don't do that. But then you're like, okay, well, don't trade them. Just bring them up here and help me. And you still don't do that. So I'm like, you can't be sitting, like we sit there and look at these prospects as shiny toys.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, we're sitting there on Christmas Day and it's January 15th and your mom still won't let you open a toy. Like, come on, like, what are we doing here? You look at the bullpen. Obviously, Gaddis is getting, listen, last 2 starts.
He actually just got sent down to the minors.
It's been bad.
And speaking of those prospects, the Guardians have called up Brian Rocchio, who's their he's a hitter, not a pitcher.
He's a hitter.
He's another infielder, and it'll be interesting to see how they use him because I don't know.
Is he taking Arias' platoon position? Like,
I don't know what the plan is yet. After the show, I'll kind of look into it more. But I just saw that they called. He's their number 2 prospect overall, and they've just sent Hunter Gaddis down and called him up. But they haven't called up any of their big pitching prospects, which is, listen, yesterday was a freaking disaster.
Who you
okay? Now, it's funny because you say, you were talking about like Guardians fans being hypocritical, and you talked about something that is fair. You know, like we don't want to trade all these prospects, but we're not going to bring them up. But I thought you were going to say this one, which is that Guardians people want you to be excited about the Guardians, but then they'll tell you it's too early to get.
That's exactly what they'll say.
That's what people do. Now, what I would say about that is you can't go over the top. You can't say, well, the Guardians suck. They're 9-9. They're going to be terrible this year. No. What you can say is they're playing like crap right now.
Yeah,
that's fair right now. Doesn't mean that's the whole. You can't turn it into the whole season.
It's a way.
But listen, I love baseball. I love the Guardians. I want them to win a World Series. I think they're a very talented team and a good team with tons of prospects that they need to call up and trade some of them to get more proven players. And I understand that baseball is a marathon. It's a drama. Football is a sprint and an action movie. And so, yeah, you can't say the team sucks based on 18 games. You can say that right now they are playing crappy baseball. And for the fact that they're only 500 right now is a big disappointment early in the season. They've played a pretty favorable schedule, right? Like, yeah, the Mariners on paper are a good team, but they're not playing well either. So you've played the Yankees. They're pretty good. Okay, but you haven't played any other good teams. The Tigers stink. They're one of like the 3 or 4 worst teams in the league. At least I think they're going to be, and most people think they're going to be. Maybe they won't be. But, you know, and you couldn't do anything. 3 runs in 18 innings against an awful Tiger pitching staff.
It looked like last year. It looked like the end of last year how we got where we couldn't really get on base and really couldn't score. And
they're hitting for no power. We thought the power would be up. It hasn't been so far.
But
it's fair to complain about how they're playing right now.
They started off so well. That's the most disappointing part. That I thought for a second, like, okay, it's fair. They put it out there to the world that they got the ability to do it.
Yeah.
But right now, For some odd reason, people are blaming and say that it was cold and whatever. That's fair. You can give them that.
But it's cold for other teams too.
That's true. But I mean, that's real though. The weather does play a part in it.
Yes.
Today should be better. They'll play again today, and I expect them to come out. They got to get a win today. It is sad to say that this early.
Yeah. And I expect them to play better, and I think I'm not panicking about the team, but they are playing poorly right now, and yesterday is just awful. I mean, and Karinchak again gives up the winning run.
Yeah.
Like, the bullpen's been lousy. The starting rotation outside of Bieber's not been good.
Yeah.
A Battlefield, I give him credit. He's one of the young guys they called up. He's not one of their top pitching prospects. I mean, he pitched well in that second game. Wasn't his fault. They couldn't hit.
And by the way, Bull, we talk about this. Listen, we spent half the year killing Josh Bell, but
he's been hit lately.
We destroyed him.
Yeah.
Here's a guy.
I did say he was.
And you got a point. If Jay and Jason Lloyd come back up in here telling me that Naylor should be still getting hits against lefties, no, he's batting 161. He didn't flew under the radar. We was killing Bell the whole half of the year.
Yeah.
He's batting 161.
Yeah.
He has 2 home runs.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be batting 161, I need your power numbers to be higher than that. Yeah. And he's not really even a crazy.
He stinks in the field. No, not any good. Yeah. Not any good defensively. Yeah, I mean, listen, the team's off to a really bad start. Even Jose Ramirez is not hitting for any power right now.
Nope.
The bullpen, which was fantastic last year, has been pretty bad. Clase's been okay, but last year was the best, along with Edwin Diaz, was the best closer in baseball. Mm-hmm. Karinchak was lights out the second half of last year. This year, it's like every other appearance he's good. Every other appearance he sucks.
That pitch clock on him.
Yeah, he's a head case. I don't trust him right now.
Yeah, that's the scary.
You just don't trust him.
I don't trust a lot of our pitchers.
That's right.
Now, who on the mound today? Quantrill?
Quantrill, yeah. And he hasn't been great.
No,
and that's it. They have nobody to eat innings, and that's affecting the bullpen.
Yeah.
And even if they do call up these guys, like, you got these studs in the minors. I know the Guardians don't panic, and that's smart. Mm-hmm. They believe in what they do, and that's okay. But it's going to hurt. The longer you go where these starting pitchers are going 3 innings and 4 innings and 4 1/3, that taxes the bullpen. No matter how good your bullpen is, if it gets overworked, it's not going to be effective.
How does Yandy Diaz have 5 home runs?
Yeah, he wasn't much of a power guy.
I'm confused by this.
Yeah, like they traded him a lot over
he
years.
put that
It's been a while for Yandy.
But I'm looking at it. Once again, I'm always worried about the power numbers.
Yeah.
And Jose's power numbers are down. Should we be alarmed by that a little bit? Like,
when should you get alarmed? That's the question.
Well, a guy like Jose, I'm not getting alarmed unless it's 2 months and he's not hit. I mean, he's if it's a guy who's only done it for 1 year, yeah. I mean, like Oscar Gonzalez did hit a home run yesterday, which was good, but he's been off to a terrible start. He's no sure thing.
Yeah.
A guy like Jose, who's been good every year for 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it's been, I can't remember now at this point. I'm not going to worry about him. Like, he's going to be good unless he's hurt. So he was hurt the second half of last year, didn't play as well. I haven't heard anything about an injury. I saw somebody tweeting yesterday, not a person that covers the team, but somebody I know was like, is Jose hurt? Like, what's going on? I don't think he's hurt. I haven't heard anything about an injury with him. He hasn't hit for any power yet. I think there's some level of patience you got to have, but it's frustrating. The team's been frustrating to watch because they haven't been scoring runs. They haven't been. They're not doing anything particularly well right now.
Listen, Bull, I'm sitting here looking at these stats.
Yeah.
Rocchio, he could play, I believe, shortstop or second base, correct?
Yes.
Right now, Ahmed Rosario is batting like 222.
And he's banged up. And I was wondering if maybe Rosario would go on the injured list.
Because he's struck out 17 times.
Yeah, he's off to a bad start. Now remember, he got off to a bad start last year.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of May, he was great from the middle of May on. So I don't know. Listen, they may give Rocchio a chance to play shortstop every day. Rocchio and Arias are both top prospects. I don't know why we'd have them both up here if they're both going to sit on the bench every day.
Yeah,
so I got to look into this some more and see what's going to happen because if I'm going to call up my best players, they got to play. Yeah. They can't sit on the bench. I mean, they'll play every day, but you'd want them to play a lot. But I don't know what's going on with Rosario. Maybe they're thinking he's going to miss a few more days because he's been banged up. I don't know. So maybe they're going to give Rocchio a chance, see what he's got. But if he comes up here and plays a few games and gets hot, then you stick with him. I mean,
and isn't that punitive? Like if they send them back down,
yes.
doesn't that start his clock or whatever
Yes.
the case may be?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he got to stay then.
Yeah.
I'm not sending you back nowhere.
Yeah. Go ahead, Earl.
I got a question.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a casual baseball fan. Stephen Kwan has 10 RBIs that leads the team. How abnormal is that for your leadoff hitter to be your team leader in RBIs?
Well, I mean, it's very unusual, especially for a guy that doesn't hit for power. Like
Yes.
Ricky Henderson, when he led off, he might lead the team in RBIs because he hit home runs in the leadoff spot. But Stephen Kwan, I don't think has any home runs, does he?
No,
I think he's zero.
none.
He doesn't hit home runs. The reason he's got so many RBIs is because some of the guys in the bottom of the lineup who have been in the bottom of the lineup, like Zunino and Straw, have both got, and even Jimenez was hitting seventh for much of the season. Those guys were all hot to start the season,
Now,
and so
Straw
they were
still-
on base a lot.
Straw's
Straw's
swinging.
playing well, and so and they, Straw, I think in the second game was hitting second, or I can't remember where he was hitting. Yesterday was a weird day for me. I didn't get to see all of the games because my wife was going into the hospital, so I was kind of in and out all day of watching games. But Straw hit higher in the lineup in one of the games, and so, but in general, he and Zunino have gotten on base a lot, and especially when Straw's on base, he's a great base runner. So any Kwan with his singles and doubles is going to score those guys all the time. It's unusual. I'll tell you this: if Kwan leads this team in RBIs at the end of the year, they're in big trouble. They are in big trouble because he ain't hitting any home runs, which means he's not going to finish with that many RBIs, and that means Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Jimenez, and Bell have all had disappointing seasons.
Man, well, here's what I'll say. I will say the fact that, the Duke and Knee Jerk is trying to show some restraint.
All right.
I'm trying to show some resolve and evenness. But listen, let it be hot outside for 2 weeks in a row, and they're still playing like this.
I agree with that.
If it get hot,
agree
it's like
with that.
shorts weather. Like, hey, look, we can't.
Right.
Because here's the thing, the Guardians, since they've been the Guardians, which is a team that's good, and they always fleece somebody in deals, and the way they're built, they've either had a lockdown bullpen or at least an awesome top 3 pitcher staff where you would say,
right,
even if they don't get no hits, they may lose some 1-0 games, but if they get a lead on you in the 3rd, 4th inning and they up 4-2, chalk it up. You about to lose. They can't say that this year.
No.
This year,
not right now.
Between injuries and guys struggling, they don't have that. So something has to give.
They about to get Ohtani.
Yeah. Guardians have lost 5 of their last 7. I will say this, though. With Francona, it's been many years where the Indians/Guardians have gotten off to a bad start and then played great in the second half. We've seen it many, many times. So certainly it's way too early to make any sweeping judgments about the season. But yes, as the weather gets better, and it's particularly disappointing when you lose games to the Tigers because they stink.
Thoughts about the division? Do you think it's just a two pony race?
I still
with
think the White Sox,
Guardians and Twins. You're
No.
not a believer in the White Sox.
I still think the White Sox will be okay, but they're off to an even worse start. And the bottom line is the Twins have lost 3 in a row too. So again, it's early. The standings don't mean that much. As poorly as the Guardians have played here lately, I mean, to lose 3 in a row against the Nats and the Tigers, and they've lost, 5 of 7, I think. They're still only a game and a half back of the Twins in the division. So we got a long way to go. It's way, way early to make any sweeping judgments. They're not playing well. Hopefully they can turn it around against the Tigers today, and then they go and they play the Marlins coming up, right? Or the Marlins are coming to town. But the Marlins are actually playing decent baseball right now. Go ahead, Earl.
Yeah, as of right now, man, the Guardians are 4-6 in their last 10. First pitch today is at 1:10. Kyle Quantrill is on the mound for the Guardians, and I think it's his name. What is it? Tranbull
For a pitcher for
the Tigers. Am I saying that right?
hold on. Who is pitching?
Quantrill for the
Cal
for the
Quantrill.
Guardians.
Yeah. No, who's
And-
pitching for the Tigers?
Is it
Spell his
Turnbull?
last name. Oh, Spencer Turnbull.
Turnbull. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not any good. They don't have any good pitching. They stink. The Tigers stink. The Guardians need to win. Let's go. Take care of business here. Stop effing
Absolutely.
around.
Just a quick reminder that our 12 o'clock lunch hour of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is brought to you by Call It Racing, the official NASCAR team of Northeast Ohio.